Chapter 16. 6 to 11 years of age. As soon as I saw you, I knew an adventure was going to happen. Winnie the Pooh. Your school-aged child has become a task-maker. This is the age where your child is preparing their training manual for life. Your school-aged child likes to set goals, to make plans, and to lay out ground rules. This does not mean that your child will follow through. Planning is the modus operandi. It's like Lego. Children, and adults, spend more time building Lego than they do playing with it. It's in the building of the structure that they develop patience and perseverance. Your school-aged child is developing a sense of their position in the world. Social interactions are important to your child as she learns the social hierarchy. She may seem bossy or docile or both as she explores different characteristics. She is seeking safety and belonging. To feel strong, she must feel connected to herself. This comes when you can stay solid in the midst of her emotional upheaval. You are on the path to substantial emotional well-being. Emotions will be in high moments of rejection. Youth live. When you help her navigate these emotional experiences, she will grow. This will help her to develop an understanding of what feels right to her, which is the only kind of right there is. Screen time. Doing nothing often leads to the very best of something. Winnie the Pooh. By now, you may have had difficulty with your child's screen time. We're bombarded with screens. We are told the detriments and the benefits of screen time. Your child may have become quite talented at arguing why their time in front of a screen time is the best thing for both of you. Your child craves screen time because it provides a feeling of connection or belonging. It can offer a false sense of value, success, or appreciation. There is a great amount of time and money invested to find out how to hook the mind of your child. Screen time also satisfies a desire for stimulation or a distraction from stress. This may be misunderstood. The brain of a child needs time to have nothing stimulating it. The brain needs time of calm and peace. When your child craves the screen, she is unsuccessfully using a machine to satiate needs. The problem is that a machine is not adequate to meet the needs of a child. It is a temporary distraction. They are needs that were intended to be met by an adult. Your child needs social interaction for optimal development. Screens replace this social time by convincing us that it is effective. Companies invest in understanding how to keep your child engaged in their product. To help you and your child, set boundaries and stick to them. Explain to your child ahead of time what the rules are. As your child gets older, reevaluate. Provide a rationale for the changing rules because of age, season of the year, etc. And keep ahead of the game. You have to do what feels right for you and stick to it. Be consistent. Inconsistency is an invitation for your child to take control of the situation. Be educated. There is a lot of information out there on how to guide the use of technology in your home. You can pretty much find evidence to support what you want to find. Ensure you know why you chose to do things the way that works for you and then set your boundaries. Your child will try to push the boundaries. Their development is contingent on sticking to your word. Use live. Hold the space. Keep your word and your child will develop her own ability to manage her disappointment, especially when it comes to screen time. Bullying. Hello, Rabbit. Is that you? Pooh. Let's pretend it isn't, said Rabbit, and see what happens. It is popular belief that bullying is when someone is being hurt physically, emotionally, or mentally over an extended period of time. But bullying is more than that. Bullying is also about the feeling of belonging. We all want to belong. Bullying is about pack mentality. Children choose to be a bystander because it is safe. Being a bystander says that you belong. If your child had to choose between being a bully/bystander or being the child that is bullied, your child will choose the former. If your child is being bullied, she could be experiencing depression, sadness, isolation, fear, nervousness, and hypervigilance. Behaviors may include school and activity refusal or confusion, wondering what she has done to upset the perpetrator, taking the blame, expressing things that are wrong with her, either appearance or characteristics. Your child will be experiencing sadness and pain. She will feel insignificant, unwanted, defective, rejected, lonely. She may feel out of control inside and show a need for control outside. If your child is the bully, she may play the victim. She may be unable to see herself as the problem. She will still be connected as part of a group, not isolated and more than one person on her side. She may also talk negatively or blame the victim. Your child may be experiencing insecurity, a need for belonging, feeling out of control inside, and a need for control. Retaliation and a domino effect, as hurt people hurt people. When bullying occurs, children are needing to feel a sense of belonging. Children are trying to find out how they fit in their world. A bully may target a child out of a need to feel like they belong. Belonging happens when a group targets one person due to a perceived weakness. This weakness commonly presents as emotional instability. So, the better your child can manage her emotions, the less likely she is to be bullied. Cohesion of the group comes through a communal exclusion of the weak member. Think pack mentality. The pack supports the behavior, as togetherness strengthens the group. A bully may also stem from internalized pain inflicted by another individual. The bully is acting out behavior that is happening to her in an attempt to work through the pain. The bystander won't say anything. Their role is to support the leader. In doing so, this ensures their own belonging and safety within the group. Generally, in a bullying situation, the victim is the isolated child or the child taking the blame. The child that is playing role of victim is often the perpetrator. Boy bullying is more overt. The male social system is hierarchical with public displays of strength. I am the best. I am stronger. I am smarter. These are normative to establish a healthy system of training and leadership towards manhood. The use of this system to hurt others physically, mentally, or emotionally is damaging. Girl bullying is more covert. The girl world demands that everyone gets along. This becomes an issue when insecurity exists. A girl will mask this by using stories to defame another girl. She feels powerful when she can get others to believe her stories. She will even believe her own stories as the feeling of camaraderie is enticing and covers up the insecurity. As a parent in a bullying situation, gather the facts. Do not jump to conclusions. Build your child's emotional strength. Bullies prey on sensitive children as they appear weak. The key is not to hide your emotions, but to manage your own emotions. When you are emotional, you give the bully power. If the bully is unable to affect your child, the bully will move on. Use live. This is the source for your child in the face of a bully. It is almost unanimous with the children I work with that the following things do not work and can make matters worse with a bully. This includes standing up to a bully, pretending the bully does not exist, if the bully still affects your child, telling a trusted adult, and the list goes on. What does work is building your child's emotional well-being so that the bully cannot have power over her. When your child is emotional, she is not in control. Help her to manage her emotions, and she will have control. Your child's unaffected emotional system will disarm the power of the bully. Using live will help your child to connect with her own emotions. When you hold the space, your child learns that she is capable of holding her own space. A bully preys on a child that can be emotionally activated. The strength that comes from using live will become a protection from becoming a target for a bully. ADHD and learning disabilities. My spelling is wobbly. It's good spelling, but it wobbles and the letters get in the wrong places. Winnie the Pooh. ADHD is explained as an executive function disorder that contributes to attention, hyperactivity, or impulsivity. But really, what is ADHD? I have seen many learning assessments that identify areas of learning that are challenging for children. Many of these assessments give a diagnosis of ADHD. Some of these children have learning disabilities and some do not, but all have an area where their learning is different. There are 3 areas that can contribute to an ADHD diagnosis. They include hyperactivity, inattentiveness, and impulsivity. I find it interesting that these areas are similar to symptoms of someone who has experienced trauma. Trauma is when the nervous system has been overloaded. This is much like a household fuse and electrical overload. Too much electricity surging through the household wires causes the fuse to blow. Trauma is too much sensory input, or stressors, surging through the nervous system, causing a person to blow. When there is too much happening for the nervous system, the mind becomes overwhelmed and needs to respond. So, take a child that has an area of weakness in his learning profile. Put this child in a classroom, or close proximity to peers. Place expectations on this child to learn in ways that do not work for the way his brain is designed. The child begins to sense that something isn't right, that something about him is not right. Now add the fact that the most important thing for a child is to feel as if he belongs. Remember the needs of the 0 to 18-month infant. This is a highly stressful situation for a child. With prolonged stress, the child will have difficulty focusing. The mind is overwhelmed. Energy will be put into the survival of the child. This does not include doing well on a test. This includes making sure he notices every sound action going on around him. The child becomes inattentive, distracted, even hyperactive. What if the child has a learning profile that states an inability to manage thought through memory or speed of understanding? Would this not lend to impulsivity? You may think that I am simplifying a complex problem. The goal of this book is to provide a brief overview to help guide where to go from here. The point is that I see many children that have an ADHD diagnosis, but do not understand what is contributing to the symptoms. There are children that have a neurological deficit that significantly inhibits their daily functioning. Some of these children have a diagnosis that includes a deficit in the mental process that underlie the way a child learns, aka a learning disability. A child with learning challenges lives in a world that expects more than the child can adequately accomplish. A child is stressed when you expect more than the child can do, especially when the child has put forth adequate effort. The result is a stressed child. And what happens to your stressed out child? Your child cannot focus. Your child will act out. Your child will feel sad, frustrated, stressed. What is important here is to understand your child. Your child knows himself and needs you to learn how to know him. Difficulties may include managing the way their mind integrates the world, difficulty in managing schoolwork or social encounters, a felt sense of difference from peers, a feeling of incompetence. If your child has a psychoeducational assessment, it is important to understand the numbers and what that means for your child. To understand your child's strengths and to build on this, to see ADHD as a diagnosis, not an explanation, and to learn how to understand your child. Here is what is happening for your child. His brain does not work in the same way as the average child. Children can struggle to communicate this to an adult. Your child's stress may increase their learning challenges. Stressed children cannot focus. Here's what you can do. Understand your child separate from the diagnosis. Your child is more than the boxes that define a diagnosis. Seek to understand your child's patterns in nonverbal communications. Communicate understanding by listening. Remove sources of stress. A stressed child is not a happy child. If school is a stress, understand how your child learns. Don't blame behavior on the diagnosis. Support strengths and acknowledge the challenges. If your child has a psychoeducational assessment, seek to understand the data. Understand how your child learns or does not learn. Help him to understand what has led to the behaviors that have led to a diagnosis. Empower your child with the parts of him that he knows make him feel capable. We all have those parts, and it feels great when others point them out. Have realistic expectations. Understand the difference between choice and challenge. Your child choosing not to do something is different from feeling incapable. Your child may feel like they keep putting in their best effort with no success. You can imagine how deflating this is. Remember, Your child wants to please you and win your praise. If they struggle to do this, they are hurting inside. They want to be a success, and they need you to know them, to believe in them, and to support them to get there. Using Live will help to bring a connection between the two of you. Your child will finally feel that he is understood. Anxiety. Some people talk to animals. Not many listen, though. That's the problem. Winnie the Pooh. Anxiety is a prolonged state of activation of the nervous system. This may include nervousness, school refusal, an incessant need to be close to a parent, sleep disturbances, irritability, worry, apprehension, and the list goes on. This behavior is communicating fear of sensations that occur in the body and the associated feeling of discomfort. The nervous system processes stimuli as threatening and is unable to shut itself off. The body is in a continued activated state. The mind becomes suspicious of any incoming stimuli. The mind believes that it needs to be in a constant state of protection. When your child is anxious, validate the fear. Be with the emotion. You may think the situation is silly or unwarranted. Fair enough. But your expression of this will only make the anxiety worse. Make the fear matter of fact. Stay neutral. Your child will look to you for how to be with the situation. Don't give it more energy, but be respectful of the energy that is there. Remember, this comes from the emotional brain. It demands an audience. All you need to do is listen, and it will start to settle a bit. Slow, gradual exposure can help your child to overcome some fears if you listen and live. Depression. Thanks for noticing me. Eeyore. Depression is an extended duration of feeling low energy and an inability to engage with life as usual. This may include difficulty sleeping and feelings of fatigue, guilt, feeling insignificant and hopeless, irritable, contentious, loss of appetite, despondent, and much more. His behavior is communicating internalized anguish and exhaustion due to fighting an internal or external battle. Depression is anger turned inwards. It includes a tendency to take blame on oneself or an inability to feel capable of being yourself. The mind feels exhausted after suffering for an extended period of time. The mind and body have shut down and is rebooting. What you can do for your child is to listen. Listening is the fastest way to help your child to feel connected to you and connected to himself. Talking with another person that listens is validating. It is okay to be sad. It is normal to be sad. It is not normal to be low for an extended period of time. If you are experiencing any of the above, get help for you so that you can help your child. Being there for your child is a powerful stimulant for change. Use Live to validate where your child is at. When you validate the pain, the mind begins to heal. Her connection with you will grow. Her strength will grow when you are present with her internalized pain.